Hello, my name is Andrew Willard, and I am the COC Performance Coordinator for the Texas Balance of State Continuum of Care. Texas Homeless Network is the lead agency for the Balance of State Continuum of Care and responsible for evaluating performance of projects funded with COC program funding. Today, we are reviewing the Quarterly Performance Scorecard. First, I'd like to walk through why COC projects will be running quarterly scorecards. Then, how to run the quarterly performance scorecard. And finally, where resources can be found if you're having difficulty with the quarterly performance scorecards. So, why will Continuum of Care projects run quarterly performance scorecards? Completing the quarterly performance scorecards will allow projects to efficiently identify how work being done by projects will be reflected in their data, to easily identify where staff may need additional training or support, and to educate projects on what data points receive weight during the competition. Higher performing projects run more efficiently and maximize the use of limited funds. Efficient projects contribute to community and continuum goals of making homelessness rare, brief, and non-reoccurring. So let's look at how the quarterly performance scorecard. First of all, the scorecard is based on data collected from the HMIS Annual Performance Report, or APR, and System Performance Measure, or SPMs, which collects project data regarding performance and outcomes. You will need to complete the APR and SPM reports for the project you are scoring, using the appropriate reporting period. For this scorecard, due January 31st, 2019, projects will review their past year's data. So the report will cover January 1st, 2018 to December 31st, 2018. Future scorecards will review on a rolling 12-month look back. So the Q2 quarterly performance scorecard will be April 1st, 2018 to March 31st, 2019. The Q3 performance scorecard will review data from July 1st, 2018 to June 30th, 2019, etc. Now, victim service providers cannot contribute data to system performance measures, so the comparable database does not have that functionality. The scorecard was built with this in mind, and their scores are weighted appropriately. Back to the scorecard itself. First time you open the scorecard, you may be asked to enable editing and to enable content. So we can see here that I already have the scorecard opened. If you're having issues entering in data, I would recommend viewing the scorecard troubleshooting guide. You might see this yellow ribbon that says you're in protected view, so you will need to enable editing. After that, you will need to enable content, which will allow the macros to work. This troubleshooting guide will also have links to the HMIS training videos around running the APR, running the system performance measures, and how to export your report data. So I have my APR, I have my SPMs in hand. I've opened up the scorecard. I've enabled the content, enabled editing. So we're looking at the scorecard here. Now you will notice that this workbook has two worksheets, the cover sheet and then the quarterly performance scorecard sheet. On the cover sheet at the top, you'll see a little blurb with directions as well as the data that this scorecard is asking for, as well as the document outline for how your document should be saved when you're submitting it to THN. All yellow colored cells will require your attention and input. So I'm going to make up a organization as we're going through this. My organization's name is going to be called the Homeless Help Center, and my project is going to be connecting to housing. So I'm going to go ahead and first I'm going to use this drop down, and my hypothetical program is going to be a rapid rehousing program. So I'm going to enter it into rapid rehousing. I'll go ahead and put my fictional organizational name. Fake project. And then we'll just say that its total budget is $5,000. I'm going to scroll down a little bit. I'm going to go ahead and put my name. For this exercise, we'll say I'm the project manager and today's date. All right, moving on to the quarterly performance scorecard worksheet. You will get a prompt asking that you complete all of row 2 before doing anything else. It's because row 2, this cell, especially the project type cell, it will affect what you're asked to fill in based on your project type. So you'll see that, for example, the PSH rows go away when I click rapid rehousing. There's some other things that happen. You don't really need to know that. I would just say click your appropriate project here. My agency name. Again, my project name. Alright, so each of the sections here kind of has 3 or 4 different parts. The first part is going to be the scored categories, so kind of what we're looking for, where to find that information under the where the reference on the APR, and then your answer. You'll also see the point criteria as well as your score based on your answer. So I'll run through a few of these. With my fake project, my APR under Q5A will show my total number of persons served. So we'll just say that's 50. We'll say the number of adults is 50. We'll say the number of leavers is 25. And we'll say all those 25 were adults as well. And then lastly, when I reference my last project application, we'll say that there were 60 households to be served at a point in time from that project application. And again, this is where I found the answer. I would have found all those answers. Jumping down to the next section, the targeting hard to serve. The first thing we're looking for is the percent of adults with entries from homeless situations. So I'll look at Q15 on the APR. I'll look at the total, and then I'll subtract the subtotal from the other locations section. So we'll say that it was 47. So that's saying that 47 of my 50 persons served entered from homeless situations. It's only 94%, so I only get 7.5 points, as reflected here, out of a possible 10. We'll say that on my APR in question 15, places not meant for habitation, column 1, row 3 total was, just say 45. So 90%, so I'm going to get full points, 10 points. And lastly, percent of adults with no income at entry. Let's say that my APR in question 16 under the no income, column 1, row 1, income at start, we'll say that 27. So 54% of my adults had no income at entry, so I will get my full 10 points there. I've gone ahead and completed a scorecard with this same made up organization's information. You can see here entering my answers in the yellow, using the APR to find these answers, or the system performance measures where prompted. If the reference is NA, you're not expected to put anything in those boxes. Using performance measures for return to homelessness. Using SAGE for my cost effectiveness category. And then some final APR data around HMIS data quality. So for my fictitious, the Homeless Help Center organization, my project received 110 points out of 87.5. If I jump back over to the cover sheet, you'll see that those points awarded were reflected on my score out of a possible 187.5. So I'm going to go ahead and save this document. I've already saved it into the correct formula. Home West Help Center .fy17 January 31st, 2019. Reflected here how the document should be saved. I'm going to go ahead and click this link here to submit the scorecard. It'll pull up this Google form. I'm just going to go ahead and fill it out. I'll select the file from my computer. Here's the one we're just working on. Going to open it, upload it, and then submit it. So that'll submit the quarterly performance scorecard to 2HN. And again, this first scorecard is due January 31st, 2019. Once we receive all the scorecards, we'll spend about THN is going to spend about 2 weeks reviewing them, and then we'll be releasing a doodle poll with available times for projects to get together with us to review their scorecard individually, provide feedback, look at the numbers, kind of review what that is telling us. If you have any questions or difficulty completing the quarterly performance scorecard, please feel free to reach out to us, either myself, Andrew at thn.org, or Jim Ward at jim@thn.org. We'd be more than happy to address any of your concerns, and we look forward to working with you. Thank you for spending time with this webinar. I hope it was useful.